Alright guys, welcome back to a video about Rubik's Cube. This time I'm gonna review this 3x3x9 made from witheden.com. I don't know if you guys can see this well. Right there, with Eden. I'll leave a link in the description below the video if you want to go on the website and buy this cube. But yeah, here we go. So first of all, this, when you first look at it, looks quite similar to a normal Rubik's Cube, but if we take a look at this side and also at this side, they look pretty much like the same thing. But when we go take a look at the other sides, like these four sides here, they are not the same thing at all. You can see instead of having 3 layers on these faces, we end up with 9 layers. So 3 for the top layer, 3 for the middle one, and then 3 more for the bottom one. So basically we end up with a cube that is a lot harder than this one, since there is 3 times more layers on the sides. But if we go onto the size comparison, even though it has like 3 times more layers, it's not bigger. If we compare the size like this, it's the same height, same width on all the sides, since, well, it's a square, and yeah, same height. So it's not bigger. They made the layers a lot thinner though. So instead of having 9 squares and having a cube that long, they made them a lot thinner. That way we can still keep the cube shape, which is pretty cool, I think. So for the size comparison, I have to say it's the same size. So it's equal to the usual cube we all have at home. And let's jump into the turning quality. First of all, you would think that with all these pieces around the core, it would be pretty hard to move around, but actually it moves really well. As you can see right now, it turns like a charm on all the sides. This one, if we're going through this one here, turns really well. And yeah, pretty much everywhere it turns really well. I'm really surprised about the turning quality of this cube. Right out of the box, it turned really well. Right now it's lubed, but still, when I opened it, it was still going around really well. So turning quality, I would say a good 7 out of 10. No, actually 8. 8 would be good. So I'm gonna give it 8 on 10 for the turning quality. Turns really well. All the different layers all turn the same. There is not like one layer that is harder to turn. It's pretty much all the same thing. So yeah, really satisfied about the turning quality of this puzzle. Now, what about the sturdiness? Well, it never popped on me, so I've solved it a few times now, and never, not even once, a piece came out and I had to pick it up and put it back in. So it never popped on me. It's a pretty good thing, actually, since well, it always sucks when you have a piece that just pops out and you have to just keep going with your algorithm and you don't know where you were at and you have to start all over again. So yeah, it doesn't happen. At least it didn't happen yet. I don't know if it could happen. I'm pretty sure if I was going to force it like the way it's not supposed to turn, that way a piece might pop out. But otherwise, if you turn it the way it's meant to be, it's not gonna pop out on you. If you want to open it, let's say like this cube, you just remove this side here, like all the 3x3s we know. But actually with this one, if you try to take out like this layer here, this side, you're gonna have a hard time to do it. It doesn't work like this. You have to do it with 2 layers, actually, just 2 layers, and that way it's just a lot easier to pull apart. So if that's just a little tip, if you guys want to open your own and lube it inside, that's how you do it. 2 layers and pull out the sides, just like that. Alright, so the sturdiness, I will give it 10 on 10, which is a perfect score. I believe it deserves it. It never popped on me, and I don't think it will. I can feel it. It's not loose, even though it turns well. It's not loose. You can feel it. The pieces won't pop out on you, which is a pretty good thing. Alright, and what about the difficulty of this puzzle? Well, as you guys can guess it, it's not easy. This one is actually easier than that one, obviously. 3 times more layers. Well, it's not 3 times like more difficult, but it's still way more difficult. Like, if I was going to mix it like a normal 3x3, it would still be pretty easy, pretty much same thing as this cube. But what happens is, when you try to solve it, you have to be careful, because sometimes you will end up with the middle not oriented properly. I'm gonna give you an example. It's not gonna take long. So yeah, sometimes when you solve this cube, you end up with things that don't happen usually on the normal 3x3, and I'll tell you why in a second. First, because in the normal 3x3, you don't have to worry about the middle, since in this cube, the middle, even though it can be like that or turn aside, we don't care. It doesn't appear like it. It doesn't change the solve form. So right now, as you can see, my cube is pretty much solved. But if we take a look at these 2 sides here, this middle has turned around, which makes it unsolved, and this one as well. So I could consider this cube solved, but actually it's not really solved 100%. This is one thing that makes it harder to solve, but also what you want is when you mix this cube, you want to make sure to mix it using its full capacity. I'll show you an example. So yes, it can move around like a normal 3x3, but also it can move around using all its layers. The 9 layers it has, you really need to use them when you mix it, otherwise you're gonna end up with things you don't want, like an easy puzzle to solve, and this is not something you want to deal with. So as you can see it right now, it doesn't pop, anything pops out, it turns really well, and basically really good puzzle. So when you want to mix it, I suggest you use all the different layers. Before you start mixing it like a normal 3x3, make sure you mix all these layers, make half turns, all the sides around, mix them again. Just any way, just as long as you turn them, just like that. Just keep mixing the sides and keep on turning them. You just end up with something mind-blowing. It's just so, you just look at it and it's like, oh my god, how am I going to solve this? So this looked pretty good. And when you're done mixing it like this, you can then start to mix it like a normal 3x3, and then you end up with something that looks like that. And to the non-professional eyes of someone outside you that just looks at you while you solve this cube, well, they might think you're crazy. So they might think this is actually kind of impossible, or at least really, really hard. But it's not that hard. Yes, it's harder than this one, but you can still figure it out using algorithms that are pretty much quite the same as this one, but yeah. Still, they're a bit different, but it's possible. You'll figure it out. So, difficulty, I would give it a 7 on 10. It is difficult, but not that difficult. You can figure it out quite easily. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this cube. Do I recommend it? Well, actually, let's fix this right now. I said that in the last video, but recommend is with a D, just like that. Just make sure I don't do it again. Here we go. Alright. So, yeah, Yes, I do recommend it. Obviously, don't buy this cube if you haven't figured out how to do the 3x3 before. If you know how to do this one, well, go ahead, buy this 3x3x9 from wittyden.com. It's really good puzzle. You're gonna have a fun time solving it, and you will just keep on solving it and solving it. It's really fun, and I really like this puzzle, so I do recommend it. Since it's not that hard though, if you are into extreme puzzle solving and you like challenges, this might not be good for you since it's not really hard to do. So if you really like challenges, don't buy this cube, otherwise you might be disappointed. But still, it's a pretty cool puzzle. You should buy it if you want something more challenging than this and, well, not impossible to solve. So go ahead, buy it, and you will not regret it. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, click the like button and you can always subscribe to see more videos. So thanks for watching, and bye bye.